guys, welcome back. So one of the hardest things to do, and if you know, you know, when you've left an abusive relationship, one of the hardest things to do is to move forward. Now, when you're in the abusive relationship, yes, I know I've said this multiple times, but it's also because it's what we have to hear over and over again, is you hear a lot of people saying, well, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you leave? I've already explained trauma bonding and all the psychological things that go with that. But the other piece is when the relationship is over and you absolutely know that it was wrong and that you shouldn't have accepted the abuse and the treatment that you received, but you still mourn the loss of the relationship and you're heartbroken at the fact that you're no longer with the person. So I just want you to know that this is completely normal. It's not that you want to be with the person ever again, because I would do a lot of things before I would ever get back with that psychopath. But it's just that because you were in that cycle of abuse and the person at times showed you that they could be a nice person, that's what you're mourning. You're mourning that nice person that you fell for, the person in the beginning of the relationship that you bonded with before the abuse began. So it's okay if that's the stage that you're at, or if that's the stage that you went through. It's completely normal. I can promise you that you do get to a place where you heal and you've just accepted the fact that what you thought was gonna be actually didn't end up being the way you thought it was gonna be. It's at the end of any relationship, you gotta look at it this way, that the end of any relationship that you're in, it is like a death, and you have to grieve that person not being around anymore. And I think more than anything, what you're grieving is not necessarily that the person is not there, but the ideas and the plans that you had in your head for your future with this person has now died. So you have to allow yourself that grief without judgment. However you're grieving is however you're grieving. Don't make it worse for yourself by feeling like a fool or feeling like you shouldn't be grieving the person based on the abuse you endured. It's okay. The next thing is you gotta try to go no contact as much as you can in order to move past this relationship and to not go back to what God just rescued you from. You have to do your best. Now, I said in previous videos, I know that it's hard to go no contact if, let's say, you were dealing with an abusive man, or woman, but the individual is still a great parent. There are situations, my situation is not like that, but there are situations where you do have abusive people who are still good parents. If you're dealing with that and you have to be in contact with the person, then my best advice to you is to get other people involved. So if you can, get a third party to come in and kind of help you to exchange the children and exchange communication so that you're communicating with this individual as least as possible. Because at the end of the day, your sanity has to be paramount. Like, your peace of mind has to be a priority, because if you're not making your peace of mind a priority, then that means you're not going to be able to parent your children to the best of your ability. Keep your mind occupied. Do things with people. If you have family, if you have friends that you can go out and spend some time with to kind of take your mind off of things, do that. Get back into your hobbies. Do things that make you happy. Join an exercise class. Do things that will keep you busy and relieve the trauma that you've endured, because you've endured a lot of trauma. Remember, God did not put you here to be beat on by anybody.